Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome again to Snacks Thoughts. I say, welcome again to Snacks Thoughts. And what is my thought of today? Well, my thought of today is, could this possibly be the beginning of the mark of the beast? I'm going to title this podcast, could this be the beginning of the mark of the beast? Now, why am I going here and where am I getting this from? Well, there were two articles that I had read, one from the Chicago Tribune and the other was from ABC 12 News. And what it basically stated was that in the state of Indiana, it says Indiana Senate Committee approves bill prohibiting employers from requiring employees to be implanted with microchips. Now, before I go on in this with this article and in this podcast, I'm going to give a scriptural revelation, scriptural from the Bible that references to the mark of the beast and clearly outlines it. And Revelations chapter 13, verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Again, that's the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 17. But anyhow, this seems kind of really strange. And granted, like I said, I do believe in the Bible. So, I mean, I believe that this was coming, but it's kind of like a shock to actually see them trying to easily slide it in. Now, this particular bill that the Senate in Indiana passed, they basically prohibited and stopped this company or employers from basically forcing people to take a RFID implant, to take a chip. It's about the size maybe of a grain of rice. But they passed a law, I believe it was like maybe 96 to nothing, it passed, to keep it voluntary, meaning that the companies can't force employees to be implanted with a microchip, but they can take the implant or the microchip implant if they so choose. So at this point, it's voluntary. But we all know how things start off in society. First, they start off very subtle, and then they work their way in, and then eventually what was voluntary eventually becomes law, and now it becomes mandatory. But let me read a little bit of this is from ABC 12 News. Okay. As employers around the United States implant microchips in workers to track productivity, the Michigan House passed a bill making them voluntary in the state. Now, this is the state of Michigan. There are other states. But the bill passed Wednesday prohibits employers from requiring workers to accept a microchip implant. And it goes on with the way technology has increased over the years, and as it continues to grow, it's important Michigan job providers balance the interests of the company with their employees' expectations of privacy, said State Representative Brana Call of Lenawee County, who sponsored the bill. She said companies increasingly are turning to miniature microchips about the size of a rice grain implanted in employees' hands to track productivity so managers can look for ways to boost efficiency. Now, you can see they already are infringing on privacy. You know, it always starts off small and as some type of as a seeming like a good idea before its true nature, which is dark, eventually comes out. Now, let me go to the Chicago Tribune, where this talks about the state of Indiana with the Indiana Senate. Okay, So this is from the Chicago Tribune. Indiana Senate Committee approves bill prohibiting employers from requiring employees to be implanted with microchips. Okay, this is another state. Okay, as the article reads, let's see. References to a 1970s television show and Adolf Hitler were made Wednesday before the Senate Pensions and Labor Committee approved in a 9-1 vote a bill related to device implantation as a condition of employment. The bill, which was unanimously approved by the Indiana House of Representatives, would prohibit employers from requiring a potential employee or current employee to have a device implanted or otherwise incorporated into the candidate's body as a condition of employment, or when being considered for a promotion or for additional compensation or benefits. Now, I mean, it's obvious. We can already see where this is heading. Think about it. Okay, you have this this pandemic, and then you have the economy, and so you have governments shutting things down, and they are basically changing the rules in the United States according to our Constitution as we know them. And as Americans, in our particular society, we were not brought up under a dictatorship or anything where our rights and liberties were restricted. And now all of a sudden, you see these changes start coming as technology advances, and now they want to spy, and want to get more into our private lives in intricate details and on a much intimate level, so that they can have control. You think about it. All these things from Google, how they, or Amazon, how they figure out what your shopping habits are. Cameras in the phones, or even in your laptop, and even also in your television. But look at the economy, how the paper money or fiat currency is basically about to go away, and they're just basically moving into a digital currency. People or merchants don't want to take cash now, and because of the pandemic, so nobody really wants to take cash. So everything is revolving around digital and electronic. I mean, China, they use things as Alibaba, WeChat. They brought about Bitcoin. The United States is working on FedCoin. So all of these different things, as they use technology and AI, and they are fastly zeroing in to where they are beginning to take away basically our rights as citizens and our privacy. They basically are taking it away, and eventually, what is voluntary today will soon be mandatory tomorrow. But I mean, the question is there. I mean, is this the beginning of the mark of the beast? The Bible does clearly talk about, this particular mark in the hand, or either in a person's forehead. And here we are seeing these things play out that Jesus prophesied. Many, saying thousands of years ago. And now you see stuff beginning to play out. And in my opinion, what I see, I think with this pandemic, and with them being able to lock down people in place, I think what it's done, it's sped things up and giving them easier access to be able to implement new systems, to implement a new system, and also to like almost immediately put certain laws into place. But think about it. It's really something to think about. Look at this, the economy crashing worldwide, so they can bring about a one world order. Add it up all together. We got, plagues with these locusts, giant locusts, and then all of a sudden you have a pandemic that somehow seemingly just pops up out of nowhere, in which there's no cure for. And then you see all the different things that they're doing, the economies are suffering, and almost 50% of Americans are unemployed, but the stock market is still doing good because the government is buying everything up and won't allow big businesses to fail. What I say to you guys, you make up your own mind, and you have your own opinions and your own thoughts, but 1 and 1 makes 2. So put 2 and 2 together. Okay? Failing economy where they're going to go digital, and they're about to do away with fiat currency. A pandemic where seemingly there's no cure for, which enabled them to gain greater control, and then bring into the picture technology, bring into the picture automation. Put it all together. You have a three-headed monster. And so I'm going to leave it at that for now, and I will leave both articles. I'll leave the links will be in the description, but check out the Chicago Tribune and ABC 12 News. That's where I wind up reading the articles, but where the one was Indiana Senate, passed a bill to prohibit them employers from forcing current employees or future employees from making them take a mark. Think about that, and if with that mark that controls your ability to get promoted or work for the company. So how many companies were involved in this? Think about it, guys. But that's all I have for this one. Again, the name of this podcast is "Could This Be the Beginning of the Mark of the Beast?" And the scripture that I reference to is in the Bible, Revelation chapter 13, verse 17. And the name of this podcast is Snacks Thoughts. That's SNAKZTHOUGHTS, Snacks Thoughts. And I also have a YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. That's ERICBROADUS, YouTube, or ericbroadusyoutube.com. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tap the bell for future subscriptions, and smash that like button and comment and push it out. Share it. Share my channel, and also share Snacks Thoughts. Please subscribe. Share it and push it out, guys. But something to think about. That's all I have for this one. Peace out, guys, and have a great 4th of July.